welcome to another exciting episode of Kamal and Jamie's Kitchen.
Today we're going to be making a special dish known as Ful Mademmis, which is a popular Middle Eastern dish.
The mukawinat or the ingredients for this is going to be the ful, which this you can get from any supermarket. Malh, shatta, and zayt.
As well as lamuna, which you can also get from any, average supermarket, tomatum, and basal. So let's get started.
Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do is you have your can of ful, and I'm just going to rinse it out with water.
And while he's doing that, I'm going to work on cutting the tomatum.
Alright, so when you want to rinse this out, you want to empty it, just rinse it out, but you don't want to rinse it out too much. You don't want to wash the flavor out of the food. So you just do that like so a couple times, and you should be good to go. Make sure there's no more of these bubbles. So you have clear water running. Perfect.
So you're going to want to start by cutting the tomatum into kitta sagira. So you want to start by cutting it down the middle. And you're going to cut the tomatum into little strips, lengthwise. And then you're going to take it and you're going to cut it the other direction. So you're getting it into like a dice formation. Doesn't have to be perfect, just small enough to fit in the pan.
Alright, so now after you rinse the beans, you want to just empty it in a pan that's big enough so you can put the beans and the tomatoes on it. Alright, after that you just want to stir it around a little bit. You want to have the stove on like medium low, and now we can add the zayt.
Just gonna kind of eyeball this. There's no like specific measurement. Whatever looks good, you want to put in there.
I would say about like two tablespoons. Just to have it all nice and moist. And you just want to cover it for a little bit, let it cook. I'll take like anywhere from 10 minutes to 5 to 10 minutes, and yeah. Alright, so now we are gonna cut the basal into sharayah sagira, like that. So it's just for decoration. And a really good tip is squeezing a little bit of lemon juice on the basal strips. Or if you don't have lemon juice, you can put a little bit of vinegar too. It just gives it a better taste and gets rid of the smell. Alright, now the ful's been on the stove for about 5 minutes. At this point you want to add the shatta. If you don't want it to be too spicy, you can just add a little bit, or it's optional, you don't even have to add it. It has a really good flavor, and I like spicy food, so I'm just going to put a little bit.
Or a lot. Whatever.
Or a lot. And you want to put a little bit of malh too. That's all to taste to. It's about a quarter spoon of malh and half to a quarter spoon to a half spoon of shatta.
And after you do that, you want to mix it all up. Make sure everything is good and mixed. And then you want to take a fork and mash it. You don't want to mash all of the beans, but you want to mash a good amount of them. And this is to aids in the texture of the dish. And then after you do that, you want to cover it back up and let it sit for about another 2 or 3 minutes. In the meantime, Here's a short commercial break.
انت الغالي يا حبيبي والليلة انا قلبي اختار ما انت في بالي يا حبيبي يا شاغلني ليل ويا نهار.
عطر الأهرام. Order now.
So it's been on there for about 10 to 15 minutes now, so you want to take off the lid and you're going to squeeze nufs limuna onto the dish. It's the last thing you're going to do before it's finished. So you want to make sure you get all that lime juice out. All over the dish. And then you're going to stir it up. Make sure you get that flavor everywhere. And then once you've done this, you're good to go. So you're going to take it and you're going to put it on your serving dish.
Alright, this dish full is usually served with pita bread or aish masri, which means Egyptian bread. It's really popular in Egypt to usually make sandwiches out of these. Just, you know, cut it into a...
Eighths.
Yeah, into eighths.
You can get pita bread at any local grocery store, but this is actually homemade, so...
Yeah, and it's not really that hard to make at home.
That'll be in our next episode, so stay tuned.
Alright, so basically you want to cut it into pieces like that. We already cut tomatoes too, so you can put it, you know, next to the dish as a side. The onions that we cut up earlier, you can take that, squeeze it after you squeeze a little bit of lemon juice on it, or
Lime juice.
Yeah, lime juice on it, or vinegar. You know, just kind of decorate it. This is all up to you. Then this is where your creativity comes in. I'm not that creative, so she's gonna do it. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Ful midemmes.
This is actually a popular breakfast meal in Egypt and Syria. It can be served with eggs and cheese. That's good. So good.
Another thing about ful is there's a lot of restaurants in Egypt that serve this, and it's usually served with falafel. A lot of people are more familiar with falafel than ful, even though they're made basically the same thing and they're usually served together. And that's gonna be another episode of Kamal and Jamie's Kitchen. Gonna make falafel for you guys.
So you just have to keep watching us. Keep on watching.
Stay tuned.
See you next time.
والليلة حبيبي الليلة ليلة عمرنا الليلة دي أجمل ليلة في حياتي أنا والليلة حبيبي الليلة ليلة عمرنا الليلة دي أجمل ليلة في حياتي.
So let's get started.
Alright, so first of all you wanna open the can of ful, like so. And you wanna rinse it out. Rinse the beans out a little bit.
So you're going to start with cutting the tomatum into, oh, don't get me out, just small enough to fit in the pan, about the size of the beans.
A little bit of lemon juice on the Brussels strips. Or if you don't have lemon juice, you can put a little bit of vinegar too. It just gives it a better taste and gets rid of the smell. Lime juice.
It's going. This is actually a popular breakfast meal in Egypt and Syria. It can be served with eggs and cheese. That's good. So good. Another fact about it